of it, and this is the ace matchup, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But here comes well, Boxer has siege mode up, and I'll expect he's going to get mines soon. He's playing a little bit safe, actually, getting some turrets and actually managing to sneak a vulture all the way into the natural expansion of free, getting an upgrade at the armory also. And I was watching this documentary last weekend about dung, poop, on the History Channel, and I learned that scarabs are actually dung beetles. They're just basically pimped up dung beetles. So I mean, basically, yeah, that's what the Reavers are shooting, those tricky dung beetles, Egyptian dung beetles. Anyway, here comes the shuttle, loading on, I think it's loaded with another Reaver and Zealot, and I'm sure Boxer has seen it. Actually, I'm not exactly sure. I think the vultures passed right underneath it, but they lack the range to see it, so I don't think Boxer knows this is coming. However, he does have enough turrets, I feel, to be able to handle this. He doesn't have any tanks in the backfield, though. I think he might not be expecting a second Reaver harass on his main, just because it's generally just quite suicidal to just go for it, and if you lose this again, it's just going to basically be over. And yeah, and Boxer definitely has enough turrets to deal with it, so Boxer is going to see that this is not going to come in, and Boxer now is about to push out here. We'll see if he decides to do some kind of slow push using turrets to help push forward. Looks like he is going to be setting up a forward contain here and trying to pick up his second expansion. Definitely has a macro edge on free right now. Although I do think it would have been wise for him to attack about 2 minutes ago. I think it would have certainly pushed free over. And free now coming up with the Reaver again, perhaps trying to drop in behind the natural expansion. He's not going to get anywhere there though, because there are turrets up above, and he might be just trying to pick off this SCV here. I think he can probably pick off one SCV. Not sure what he's doing there, hanging out with that shuttle. If Boxer had any Goliaths or even one Wraith, he could be in huge trouble. And Boxer has that starport going up in his base, so perhaps thinking about making one Wraith. There's a Zealot Bomb. Nicely done, Zealot Bomb, but that turret's going to ward away anything further. Actually, Boxer canceling it just in time. Another partial scarab there by free, and Boxer once again sneaking vultures in. That is absolute old school Boxer here. This is Boxer back in form, looking back in form at least. Back then he would just manage to conjure up vultures inside the enemy's base at will and just kill off a couple of probes here and there and just really gain the economic advantage. Free does have Observer, so he will be able to deal with those spider mines. Boxer not doing too much damage there, but also just getting a little bit of harass. And here comes another dud scarab, or it wasn't dud, but it was pretty much a useless scarab there from free. Boxer now getting his second expansion. Free also getting an expansion up, actually, so not doing a bad job with his macro recovery after that one base rush. But Boxer already has a science facility up, and looks like he's probably going to get a dropship. That's what I assume he's going to get that control tower so early for. I'm assuming he's also probably getting a +2 attack for his mechanized units right now. That would be the reason for the science facility. And really, I haven't seen Boxer play this well recently, until I saw that game against Shuttle. I mean, Boxer before then was coming off of a 7-game losing streak against Protoss, and the fact that he's managing to basically take the lead so far in this game against Free, who's I think a much better player than Shuttle, is quite impressive. You know, given the fact that he still is in the Air Force, of course, and he hasn't been showing a very good performance in general this year. But could this be the start of a little bit of recovery for Boxer? I certainly hope so. That should be really interesting to see. By the way, I might be casting another Pimpus Play game if I can find it. Reach versus Choja from the 2005 Pimpus Plays, I believe. Reach's Lockdown, the game is called, and that should be an absolutely spectacular game. I just have to find it right now, and probably I'll cast it later on today. So stay tuned for that. Boxer now has his entire tech tree up. Looks like he's getting, a covert ops from Boxer. Whoa, what's going on there? Boxer's getting a covert ops, and what is this for? Looks like cloak upgrade going up here, and I don't know what Boxer's getting this for, honestly. Is he going for a nuke? I don't think so, actually. He's probably going to go for some very, very classy lockdowns, and this could be a very good counter against Arbiters if they come, or perhaps just Boxer trying to show his absolute prowess. Oh, and Boxer, no! Boxer is going for the nukes. Boxer feeling like he has enough of an edge to play a little bit goofy here, getting another command center in this base, and that is going to be for a nuclear silo there. Absolutely pimp play from Boxer. I am definitely excited. Oh, and Boxer going for a drop in the main of Free. He's picking off all the probes, and by now I think the nuke is going to be for show here, as in this is going to be basically there to show off some Boxer-esque skill, to show that he is still 100% there. And Boxer picking off so many probes inside the base, doing a lot of damage to that tank, a lot of disruption, and he is firmly in the lead, and I think perhaps in the lead enough to pull off a nuke here. We'll have to see, though. Boxer is going to have a little bit of trouble because Free does have those observers roaming around. I don't know how many observers he has, but that's going to be absolutely essential. Here is the Ghost. Boxer with ghosts. And that observer is trying to show us that Boxer is going to be indeed building a nuclear silo at the command center. They're expecting that. They're probably just tittering with anticipation right now, because they just want to see Boxer pull off a nuke. I mean, it's just absolutely so rare in a program to see a nuke. And Boxer is going for one. I just wonder where he is going to try to nuke, though. Maybe he's going to go for one of the expansions. Really, he's probably going to... Actually, I think the best position for him... Oh, Boxer could use one of the ledges. That's what I think he's going to do. If he's going to use one... If he's going to get a nuke off, I think he's probably going to be best off trying to use one of the ledges, like perhaps behind the natural expansion. He might be able to keep a Ghost alive in there long enough to prevent Free from getting a unit up there to kill the Ghost. And this is going to be absolutely devastating if he manages to pull it off, not only for the game, which is pretty much over, but for Free's confidence. Not that I really, frankly, care that much about Free's confidence. I think anything that boosts Boxer's confidence would be absolutely amazing to watch. And Boxer, now with the dropship full of 2 tanks moving down towards the south, and I think Boxer is probably going to use that as a diversion attack, probably a 2-way attack, using this tank to occupy Free's attention. Meanwhile, looks like he's probably going to be going for a nuke at one of the other expansions, or perhaps after softening this expansion up, he's going to take it down with a nuke, and this is going to be absolutely amazing to watch. Free now bringing a lot of Dragoons up, but a huge minefield and a lot of Vultures for support here. Free's going to have to wait until he gets gets an observer there, and I don't think Free has any idea that nuclear humiliation is about to come up for him. And actually, interesting enough, a comsat going up for Boxer. I'm a little bit disappointed. Maybe he's not going to be going for the nuke after all. Looks like... Oh man, a lot of mines killing off tanks there. Boxer going down with a science vessel and a lot of Dragoons and Zealots trying to push up here. Free trying to break through. He might be able to get through here, but Boxer does have reinforcements coming up. And this, like I said, I didn't think Free had a chance of really breaking through. His last remaining Zealots are getting killed there. They're not going to break through against these tanks, and I don't think he'll be able to take down this expansion. Free might GG before any kind of ghost play comes into the game, unfortunately. And Free getting a nice nice Ionic Storm there at the front, but that's going to be the last of his attack. He's going to also, looks like he doesn't lose that High Templar, but certainly losing his entire attack force and also sacrificing his expansion at the 6 o'clock position. So now Boxer, if he really wants to go for nukes, he can absolutely go for them. He basically has this game well in hand, completely in hand, I'd say. Here comes about 8 Dragoons trying to take out these tanks, and frankly, I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to take out the tanks by themselves, because Boxer has so many support units there, and those 2 tanks are in a very good position. There's a mine. Oh man.